Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Bricks Blazing Takes. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with me. I appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Let's get right to it, baby. Rick Blaze coming at you live and direct. Blazing Takes, baby. You know what it is. It's church day. We're going to get right to it. I'm thinking about, I've been, contemplating and putting my mind on the coaches. I'm going to give you my rundown for who I think are the top candidates for Coach of the Year this season. Now, before I get into that, let me do a little caveat. I'm not just going by who has the best record, right? Because a lot of times people with the best record also have the best collection of talent. So the records do count. I do look at the records. I also look at if the coach, the type of team that they have and what they deal with those players, right? Are they getting the most out of their teams? How does the coach or how does the team react during adversity, which every team has faced at some point in time? So this is what I think, right? So I'm looking at these coaches, and there's some coaches I got to get. Some coaches kind of made my list who I'm looking at like late in the season, like, oh, okay, I see you. So these are my top 5 coaches I think should be in consideration for Coach of the Year. Number 1, you got to go with the team in this case, I got to go with the team with the best record, which is the Originators, led by Coach Dodge. I believe the Originators is the most complete team in SimWorld. I've said it before. You can pull back the tape or the receipts. They don't have any gaping flaws. They're not perfect. No team is. But they don't have any gaping flaws. And Coach Dodge does a really good job of putting their team, those players, in the position they need to be. And they've been highly successful. She's assembled a really good cast. Pretty much an unknown cast at the beginning of the season. But it doesn't matter about the names. They work really, besides DJ Wagner, we didn't really know. Victor, the Victor guy, Ilgauskas. He came along late. I had a lot of hype behind him. He came along. He's playing fine. So she's put these guys in the position. Loftus goes off from time to time. Quinny, a bunch of these guys, they're just a really good team. And they're in the good position. They in the good offense. They run a good defense. They just run everything very, very well. So I've got to put Coach Dodge as a Coach of the Year candidate. Now, I'm not going in any particular order, right? So she'll be number 1. She'll be 1. Another coach at number 2, Coach Pope for Bay Area Breakers. Sorry. He's assembled what some thought in the preseason was SimWorld's version of the Avengers. I mean, he had this person coming, that person coming. Anybody who did anything in the summer league, they was on his team. And give Coach Coach Pope his credit. He took these players and got them all buying in. It's not easy to take that kind of. It's one thing to have talent. It's another thing to have all the talent to rock with you a certain kind of way and play the game the way that you want it to play. And he has been successful in doing so. He's 16-7. His team is currently tied with 1 billion other people in first place. Well, not no more. I take that back. Bay Area and yeah. So he's in first place right now. And Coach Pope just getting it done. I'm not going to, again, there's more pressure, I believe, to win when you have talent. And so he's risen to the occasion. His team has played well, and I expect big things from them. Race to 1 when it's coming up. So, Coach Pope, you have my kudos as well. That's number 2. The third coach, I got to give it to, now it's when it's going to get interesting. Now it's about to get interesting, right? You want to give it to Rocky Mountains, but their coaches left. It's kind of la, right? You kind of want to give a little nod to H-Town, but their coaches kind of just got there. I got to go with Southeast Select. Brad Lee, Coach Lee, he don't really say too much in the chats and everything. He kind of let the team kind of do what they do, and they've been doing well. And they're currently occupying first place, and they're in the Savannah division. And it's just been steady. The whole team doesn't really Their number one guy, Trey Turner, don't say too much. Coach Lee don't say too much. Gabe Pope probably does the most talking for the team. They just been steady. So Coach Lee has been keeping his ship set steady all season long. You got to give kudos to that. You got to give some credit to that. So I got to give them some credit. So I got to put Coach Lee in there. Coach Brett Lee, he is my third coaching candidate for Coach of the Year. That is at number 3. Now it's about to get really interesting, right? Because now I'm not really looking at records per se. Number 4, Bjorn Arch. This guy was not on my list earlier this week when I thought about this topic. Coach Kuzma was not on my list, but I went back and did some research. Oh yeah, I did some research, honey. Beyond Arch started off horrendously in the beginning of the season. Something like 1-7, 2-8, something crazy. They started I think they were one of the last teams to actually win a game in the SimWorld. Like, they started off terribly. And slowly but surely, they fought, they've crawled, they've scratched, they've quietly went about their business. He got Big Tyson Simpson to basketball, which is a smart move, and they are winning. And they won some big games recently. They on a little win streak. You got to give it up. He got. We don't talk about Kuz a lot. He's not in the chat doing too much. His players not in the chat doing too much. But they quietly be just going about their business, and they quietly got themselves out of. They were in a deeper hole than most of the teams in their division, and yet they're in this thing in race to 1. So I got to give Coach Kuz some credit. Got his team playing really, really good basketball, and I got to give him credit. So he's number 4. So right now I have Coach Dodge 1, I have Coach Pope 2, I have Coach Lee 3, I have Coach Kuzma 4, Coach 5, the 5th coach. There are some candidates, right? I could go with Coach Drayden from Beast of the East. I can go with Coach Murray from Run DMV. It's a good candidate. I can go with but I'm not going with either one of those 2. Again, I'm not. How do I want to say this? Let me say this. You see how I'm taking my time, I'm still trying to get it right. Coach 5, the 5th coach, I'm going to go with Coach Murray. But it was close. But Coach Murray's team started off not too hot. They scratched and they clawed back up too. I picked Coach Murray over Coach Drayden because I believe Coach Murray's team is a little bit. I think Coach Murray got his team a little bit better prepared for the race to 1. I think if it comes down to in a race to 1 playoff game, it comes down to X's and O's and making the right adjustments. I give Coach Murray the snide over a lot of coaches. So to me, he's that 5th coach that should be getting some credit for Coach of the Year. Now, honorable mentions. Of course, I can go with Coach Drayden, but that's a low hanging fruit. Honorable mentions, really, really close. AT Aliens coach. I like what they've been doing lately. They got their boys playing. He got his boys playing really, really, really good basketball, and you got to give it credit. Another honorable mention would be Coach Skinny for Heartland Zombie Stars. Again, they're 8-15, but their last few games, I think they found something. I think they are. They don't have the best talent from top to bottom, but they're a tough out every night, and you don't become a tough out every night without having good coaching. It's easy for those fellas to mail it in, right? They could have been mailed it in a month ago when they knew, but they come in. I think they found some things that works for them, and they've gotten better, believe it or not, over the course of the year. Their wins and losses may not always show it, but they've gotten better. That's the teams that they play. They've gotten better each and every time. So Coach Skinny was a honorable mention for me. So that's my 5. Coach Murray, Coach Pope, Coach Lee, Coach Kusa, and Coach Dodge. You like apples? How you like them apples?